Hi Nigel. I was staggered to discover that you lied on the Laura Kunsberg show. You have been trying to explain that Dodgy Doge wasn't quite working for you guys because it's being stopped by other authorities, and you quoted Warwickshire County Council as an example. You were quite clear that you'd wanted to see all the accounts, but you were being stopped from doing it. But it turns out you'd never actually put a request in to see anything. And I don't know what's going on, Nigel, because down in Wales, they're reporting down there that you've lied again. Because you said that you'd been the only person in the senior management team of Reform to have even have met Nathan Gill. But like Deputy Dick was all over Nathan Gill. There are so many photos and accounts of Deputy Dick with Gill. There's a video of all your MMPs, which include Deputy Dick and Chairman Dr. David Bullshit, being with Gill. And Dr. David Bullshit even went to Kashmir with Gill. But when I'm here, Nigel, don't you think it's a bit odd and so disrespectful to the people of Wales that when you went down to supposedly just lend support to Claire Powell, he wasn't allowed to speak to the press, only you? It's almost like Reform is a one-man band. Speaking of Deputy Dick and the Russians, which of course we were really, seemingly he forgot to pop it onto the members' register interest, at the MP thing, the thing that you forgot to fill in for months. He forgot to mention that he'd been away with a Russian, and everything was paid for by the Russian. Easily done, isn't it, I suppose, if you're regularly used to getting money from the Russians. Anyway, speaking of dodgy money, you were at that cryptocurrency thing, weren't you, talking? Where you explained that yes, you did think you would be the next PM. And then a very Trumpian move, if you don't mind me saying, you queried whether this was down to inept politicians or down to your own incredible charisma, your oratory skills, or your track record. And to think people criticise me for saying you're a narcissist. But I wonder what track record that is. Was it when you couldn't even be asked to turn up to vote to save British Steel over in the MEP days? Oh look, Nathan Gill did turn up, but he voted against, obviously. I mean, I'd love to say it's history, but only recently you took £100,000 donation off the company that ran British Steel into the ground. Anyway, tying it all nicely together, about you working against the country as opposed to for it, and you being a liar, I've been reading the transcript of when you were interviewed for a German newspaper. You remember the interview when you said you had nothing to do with the Russians, you'd never met the ambassador, and then everybody showed you the photo of you with the ambassador and suddenly you remembered that you had. But this next bit is really interesting because the reporter then asked you why you had met with him. And instead of answering, you accused the reporter of being a nutcase. But then you said Brexit was the best thing to happen for Russia, for America, for Germany, and for democracy. See, I thought you were saying to everybody that Brexit was for Britain, not for Russia. Anyway, I'm sure you're not working against the UK, really, are you, Nigel? I guess we'll find out next month because you're going to do yet another presser, this time to talk about the economy. But given that you thought that Liz Truss gave the best Conservative budget since 1986, and your hero over in Argentina, the guy that you said you want to emulate over here, has been given 2 bailouts over the last few months, I'm finding it quite hard to believe that you do want the best for Britain now. Anyway, as you were.